Yeah.
Oh, I can't open it.
I already opened mine.
My hands
Oh, failure, man.
I got it. Ooh, that was tough.
What the heck is that drink?
Secret sauce.
Whoa, man.
Is that canned Carmen
Secret.
Line Studios?
This
Is that hairspray?
Is that hairspray?
This is the essence, the creative essence of Carmen Line Studios.
Oh, is that like the secret stuff in Space Jam?
Or Liquid Schwartz.
Neither. Of those.
It's Liquid Schwartz.
It's like bottled genius.
Bottle genius.
Yeah.
There's
Wow.
a disclaimer on here. Could you read that?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So it says that on this show we cover short films with brutal honesty
Oh, wow.
in an effort to help us as filmmakers as well as the filmmaking public. So, thank you for submitting your films to us. It doesn't really say that on my bottle, but
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I jest. Thank you for submitting your short films to us. Don't be offended or take it too seriously, but do take it seriously because it is helpful information.
It's not personal.
But don't
It's a little personal.
we don't
It's
need
a little
any more
personal.
death threats. That's all I'm saying. Hey, look, Taylor's here.
Woo! I made it.
Wow.
I was a little late.
Thanks
Little
for
late.
joining us.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, my bad. I'm sick, right?
Right. We were just finishing the disclaimer.
Okay.
Don't cry if we
Typical stuff.
If it sounds like we're mocking or laughing at your film. Know that we've made these same films.
Made the
before.
same film you
made
have.
the same
It's-
exact
Not the
film.
exact
We just
same
keep
film,
making,
but
like,
we've
you're
made the
plagiarizing
same-
us.
We made the same mistakes as you've made. We are not laughing at you. We're laughing at ourselves. We're laughing at just the whole process that is making a movie, which can be so maddeningly difficult at times.
Quite.
And so we totally get it. That being said, we've been sent many, many really excellent films.
Yeah.
As well as some really hard to watch movies.
That we have.
Hey, did you read that off of that new drink that's been going around, that Carmen Line drink?
This is it. Yeah, you can
Oh,
buy
wow.
your own case of
Carmen Line
liquid Carmen Line at carmenline.film.
Wow.
All right. Okay.
Shall we move on to our first film,
Let's move on to our first film.
which is called Three Teens Go Explore an Abandoned Building, but what they find will shock you.
What they find will shock you.
The actual title is The Sixth.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
But,
as you can see on our new camera here.
Oh, how did you do that, D?
I know. It was crazy.
Pretty cool. Anyways, The Sixth.
Thank you.
My bad.
You don't know how to use a mouse.
I'm using my left hand.
Jeez, let me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Since people
so the
can
sixth.
only read highlighted text. There you go. Anyway,
Created by
this is our first time using this new technology.
Yeah, it's really advanced.
created by Jaden Reese.
On YouTube, they gave it a great clickbaity title.
Called Three Teens Go to an Abandoned House for the first time.
What they found will shock you.
and it starts out pretty cool.
It's a better name.
Instead of watching it on YouTube, go watch it on theater.
Yeah, go check it out.
There's a link in the description. You can click on that. And then
I didn't
Chaos.
understand what you meant
Chaos.
at all.
We have
You
descended.
can watch it in our
We have a
virtual-
theater.
It's because we roll the theater.
Yeah, but we
every
only
time.
have a clip there.
Yeah.
They have to click the link in the description to watch the movie.
that they do. Watch
So-
the first 10 seconds in the theater.
Go check out the link in the description where you
Watch
can see the whole
Sixth.
film.
It's not called The Sixth, but watch The Sixth, and then come back here.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, let's go. This is the place. Let's see what we got in here. This place looks so spooky.
I've always wanted to kick a door down. Get this on camera. Get this on camera. Wait,
Are
I'm
you
doing
kicking
it.
it? Are you
Yeah,
kicking
I'm
it?
kicking it.
All right, hold
Hey,
on.
come on, guys. Like, I don't want to get in trouble.
Oh fuck.
Oh, she's
Is there somebody in there?
I swear to God, if there's
Oh my.
if there
What the fuck?
Whoa, guys, I don't think we should go in here. I think there's ghosts in here.
Shut the fuck up.
who did this? Was it ghosts or was it hooligans or just some straight up
It's fucking
dicks?
And we're back.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's
Hey,
going
welcome back. And The Sixth. Wow.
on? The Sixth.
To say.
Mr. Taylor,
You want me to say?
Get us started on the 6th. What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Who are these teens that are going over to an abandoned place, and what did they find?
Well, I can tell you that it did shock me.
It did shock you.
Yeah, the clickbait title did. Never. This movie. There's a lot that I liked about this movie. I thought that the found footage stuff, like the vertical video stuff, was actually really good. And the performances were pretty good for that. But what was kind of funny was the performances were very different when it was like cinematic narrative style.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah. It was like Kenny was talking about, like they were maybe scripted different because it seemed improv. Like the found footage stuff seemed more improv.
Felt improv. Yeah. They were talking over each other.
Yeah.
In a more natural way, and then when it went to the sort of more cinematically shot scenes, you could tell everyone was taking their turn.
Yeah.
Talking.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that felt a little bit weird to go back and forth from that. It definitely detracted from the overall film, I would say. The story itself has some interesting ideas. The idea of this photographer killer kind of coming after you, and he's like stalking you almost, is pretty interesting, but it's just not really that clear. Like there's certain connections that needed to be made that weren't made.
Yeah.
I'm still like, as soon as the movie ended, I was like, I wanted to make sure that I got the same message that you guys did, because I'm usually lost on these kinds of things, and I'm just like, okay, what happened? What did you guys think? And just now you saying that there's a photographer killer that comes to kill you, and I'm just like, I didn't get that at all.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Again, yeah, there's just there's too many holes here. It felt like the filmmaker had a good idea, and didn't quite nail the execution. I think there's a lot of pieces of this story that are left in the filmmaker's head and didn't quite make it onto the screen. And that's hard to do, especially when you're really in love with your own idea, is you create a whole lot of context inside your own brain that the audience doesn't have. And so but it doesn't matter how many times you go back and edit it, you still have the context in your brain. So you don't see the holes that are there, but the audience does.
There's a thing that I used to do, and I still do actually to this day, where I'm editing like a sequence, and then I'm like, hey Taylor, come over here, look at this real quick, and then I play it, just that little section, and I stop and I'm like, all right, what'd you think? And he goes like, I need to see more. Like, because in my head, you already know what's behind this, and now just watch this little section. And that's this film in a nutshell, like you said. I respect the crap out of the filmmaking here. Like, a lot of it was very ambitious, where they're mixing media. They have a webcam on one.
It's 20 minutes
phone.
long, too.
Yeah, and it's 20 minutes, so like it's that's really cool. Yeah.
Big endeavor.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a very, very good natural-born storyteller here, someone who really wants to get something out and just really wanted to make it themselves. It doesn't matter how shoddy it was. And with that said, I mean, it did have, like you said, a lot of interesting ideas there. The cohesion was kind of bad. So let's talk about real quick how the ideas didn't fully come forward. You know what I mean? Didn't really tell this. It didn't really tell a story.
Yeah, well, where to begin? So first we never really developed characters. We never got an idea of really who was motivated by what.
Right.
We never got a clue as to like what are the rules of this world we're operating in. So for example, this box that they couldn't open that had pictures in it, I feel like we were left in a space where we couldn't come up with even a guess as to whether this was a psychopath in our realistic nonfiction world, or some kind of supernatural force. Right? Was this box magic and that's why they couldn't open it? Or was it just old warped wood?
Yeah.
Of course, at the very end, he sees a photograph that hasn't even been taken yet. Right? So they do like a thing that's a weird time loopy thing.
Yeah.
That's definitely hinting at supernatural. And he's in a place where these other kids are and he can see them, but they seem to only be there to scare him.
Right.
For some reason.
Right.
So, and then the blending of dreams with the story made it really difficult to tell what actually had stakes and what didn't.
Yeah.
Right?
So the ending part, say when like he woke up twice during the ending, right? Like he woke up in his bed, and then I think after that somehow woke up in the house.
In a house. I mean, I don't know where he woke up.
Yeah.
Or if he woke up at all. I mean, that's what I mean. It was hard to feel like that ending had stakes.
Yeah.
Because up to that point, anytime he went into a place where something weird was happening, it was a dream.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that just felt like another dream sequence to me.
I definitely felt like there wasn't an established threat in the beginning, because when they find the box, which is kind of that's kind of a interesting thing. You get a box, like, oh, it's creepy. What's inside of it? It's a mystery. And then when you find out what's inside of it, it's these photos, but the photos aren't anything particularly.
They're just photos.
They're just
of
photos,
kids.
you know.
I found it weird that they jumped to this conclusion that we have to do something about these photos in a box.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's not like they were kids who were tied up.
Right.
They weren't kids who were like nude with black bags over their heads. You know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I got. Is when we finally did see the photos, they just look like photos. And when they jump to this kind of thing of who we need to save these people, I'm like, well, what's their motivation here? Because that doesn't look like
right
anything.
there.
Right. That just looks like a picture of a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know what motivated this choice, and I'd love to hear your story as to because I know something happened. There's a reason you did this. There's a story behind why you didn't smash the box open on camera.
Right.
Right? Like the guy says, I'm going to break it, and he literally takes it off camera, and we don't see it happen.
Right.
Which is a huge no-no in film.
Right. Unless
you're doing it for a specific reason, for some big reveal.
Right.
So that pushed me to the edge of my seat saying, what's the reveal? They're going to do, something, but it wasn't. It wasn't a setup for anything.
It wasn't, yeah.
And then they're not showing you the pictures. They're just talking about them, describing them, which makes me think, oh gosh, there's got to be something shocking on these photos when they finally show us, and they're not.
And they're not, yeah.
But they react like there is.
Yeah. That is.
And the only little bit of threat that is established from that is when he recognizes the kid from a missing persons poster.
That's later, though.
Which is much later into the movie. And that's the only real tangible threat that's in the movie.
Yeah. I did like that. I like that part. I like this idea of finding photos. I think it would be better if they didn't get all worked up about him at that point, because it makes sense. But once
or at least justify it.
Once they see the missing photo, then it's like, holy crap, what the heck, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I also like the bit where it jumped, like, seemingly by magic from 5 to 6 photos. And the 6th photo was clearly taken when they were at the house, which means that there was a guy there who took a picture of him without him knowing. And that's a scary idea.
That is a creepy
That's a creepy idea.
Right.
But that's not the creepy idea they decided to run with.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that shot there where it was the webcam.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. Like you're saying, how they kind of mixed media sort of thing.
I'm not sure why they did it that way.
I don't know.
It's not like the webcam's running.
Yeah, but I just kind of like that they did it.
It's neat.
Yeah, I just like the experimentation, I guess.
Yeah.
But it would be cool if that played into like a
in
theme
this
or something.
scene they did something kind of weird. I think it was an accident, but find the shot where he's framed up against his Scarface poster.
Right.
So when I see this scene and the scene in the other in the bedroom, what I feel like is we have a filmmaker here who decided to use what he had to make a movie.
Yeah.
Go to freeze frame it there. Which is his own house, his friend's house, whatever it is, but did not set dress.
Right.
It's like this was just used as is. The problem with that is the things on the wall here are telling me about the character, but they're really not telling me anything about this character, right? Is it a part of the story that this guy likes Scarface and Al Pacino?
Right.
And if it's not, why this like extremely dramatic shot where it's showing not only that really just showing off this poster in the background, but almost framing him like it's some kind of foreshadowing that he'll have a scar on his face. Ooh, maybe.
Oh.
Maybe it was intentional.
Now we've
did get his face cut later. Hey, I'll walk it back. I'll walk it back. If you're going for some creative foreshadowing, then all right, I'll walk it back.
But you do bring up a point, though.
It still felt unintentional, and distracting.
Right.
Well, you bring up a point about like I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but mise en scene. Yeah, mise en scene, where everything in the frame, it matters.
Right.
Yeah. This shot was the other one where it's like, okay, he's into space, astronomy. He's been living in the same room since he was 9. I'm not sure where else to go, but the point is, you're telling a story here.
Yeah.
Visually with every frame, and so if I'm supposed to be focusing on what's happening with these photos and the mystery here, I'm now being distracted.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
because the fact that he's in the Dragon Ball Z doesn't reinforce who he is as a character.
That's exactly it.
It doesn't develop his character more.
Yeah,
that's interesting. To see it as a distraction, I never thought about it like that.
That makes a lot more sense that way. Yeah. So if you're not intending it, and it still makes a statement. We've said that before, but yeah, it is distracting from what you're trying to say.
Right, or it's the wrong statement at the wrong time.
Right, yeah. Which can lead to other
He could completely be a character who's into Dragon Ball Z and astronomy.
Right.
But there would have been a time earlier in the story to develop that with some kind of intent.
With some,
purpose,
some sort
hopefully for a purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do we have anything else to say about this? Oh, I thought this was kind of funny. So at this part, we have this kid that runs through the house.
The jump scare.
Yeah.
It got me.
And so,
jumped out of my seat.
So he does run through, but then this is a directing kind of thing. You can see he slows down.
You can see where he slows down.
And
play that again real quick.
I almost thought, oh, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
As soon as the first time I saw it, I noticed it. I'm like, oh, that is not a ghost. That's just a boy, because he slows down. So he doesn't run into the
make sure he doesn't run into the wall. Yeah, that's what it was. And then
that's interesting.
So it makes you think he's still there. So then while he's looking through the other way, you're like, well, why aren't you looking at the kid anymore?
Because in your head, it's like it's almost subconscious at that point.
Right.
Where it's like, because I didn't pick up on that at all. Even subconsciously, I didn't notice it. I just missed it. But for those who do pick up on it, it lessens.
It lessens the immersion.
Yeah, because now you're thinking of all this geography stuff that you really shouldn't be thinking about.
That's exactly it, yeah. And
geography is super important.
It is.
If you mess with that a little bit, it gets weird.
Well, and so even that could have been better with maybe a longer shot, not in time, but a telephoto shot.
Yeah, just make the frame tighter.
Right.
A little tighter.
Right, just make it tighter so that when he runs past it, he looks like he's running past and continues.
It'll be like super fast and a constant motion.
Yeah.
I think this is a really cool movie overall. When it comes down to it.
Overall, it's neat. Like, I really like the ideas that they did here.
I really thought we were about to see a movie that was going to be all vertical orientation.
I was really hoping for that.
I was kind of excited.
Yeah, I think that would have been more interesting if it was all vertical.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed when it cut to sort of like standard filmmaking.
Yeah,
yeah. Like I see a lot of a potential, and I think these guys are really cool. And I think the film could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Had they probably tighten it down, like cut it down. It probably didn't need to be that long.
Probably.
And it probably needed definitely a more cohesive story, at least better plot points.
It's one of those like less is more scenarios.
Like a 5-minute vertical video
simultaneously needed to be shorter and needed more content.
That's a really interesting paradigm right there.
That's a challenge.
It needed to be shorter, but it needed more content.
Right.
That's interesting.
Shorter and more content. That's funny.
So, thank you so much for submitting The Sixth. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I'd like to see this being done in a more condensed version.
Yeah.
See what that's like.
I also want to. I mean, it left some questions for me. What did the girl hear or not hear when she supposedly heard a guy screaming down there? What was the meaning of that box? Is it in fact like a haunted, cursed box?
Yeah.
Or not? And where did the guy end up at the end, and how to get there?
I want to know how many days this took you to shoot, and how many people it was. If it was just you three, obviously there was a camera person too, but was there more? I want to know more details about that.
I want to hear about some of the challenges that you might have faced making this film, and I also want to know if the found footage vertical stuff was improvised or loosely scripted compared to the more narrative, cinematic sections of the film.
All right, there you have it. Thank you again for your film.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our next.
What's up next?
Submission.
Alrighty. Our next one is called Dear Jennifer by Tyler Sari.
Dear Jennifer.
So link is in the description. Go watch it. Come
Click
right
it.
back.
Watch it. Oh.
Check it.
Dear Jennifer. Where to start? You'll probably never read this. In fact, chances are this won't even reach you. I'm probably just writing this for myself.
We're back.
Woo!
Oh, hi there. Welcome
Hey.
back.
This is kind of funny. I saw almost the exact same movie, and I didn't show you guys yet. But there's a short film called Dear Christopher. That's the same story, except instead of a boyfriend talking about his girlfriend, it's about a mother talking about her son.
Oh.
And it's about 2 minutes long, and except it's handwritten and does the same exact thing. It goes into B-roll and everything, and you think it's about her saying bye and she's a bad mother, and then it goes, oh, son's dead.
Sad.
Taking that idea of, I'm going to call it a gimmick. That's
Sure.
probably
Doesn't
not
have
the
to
right
be
way to say
negative.
it, but what's that?
Doesn't have to be a negative word.
Right.
Right.
It's just the idea that happened, that the bait and switch kind of thing,
Yeah.
because that's what a twist is. Taking the gimmick, let's talk about how this movie dealt with itself using that, because it didn't really tell a story.
Yeah. Okay. So I have something to say, but first let me give this disclaimer.
Sure.
I'm about to criticize this movie, and to the filmmaker, if this happens to be autobiographical, my condolences, and I respect the emotion that's in this film. If it's not and you just pulled it out of your mind, that's cool too, whatever. but I just want to say that a criticism of your work is not a criticism of the genuine emotion that is behind your piece.
Correct. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All right. So that being said,
Yes.
to me, the gimmick was blown from the very beginning. It took about 5 seconds.
You
It
even
was
said
that-
out loud.
I said it out loud about 5 seconds after he said, "Dear Jennifer," I said, "She's dead." In fact, it seemed so broadcasted to me that I questioned whether or not that's actually the gimmick he was going for.
Right.
Now, the reveal shot of when they show him at the gravesite does make it look that way.
It does.
Like it's like, surprise, I'm at a gravestone. But the words chosen throughout, to me, made it really clear that we were winking at the fact that she was dead, not alive.
Yeah, I noticed that also.
If
To me, it was like a written. It's not dialogue. It's a monologue problem.
Yeah. So if that's indeed the case, that it's not a gimmick, if it is just saying these events,
I think it was, though.
then I don't see the point of saying any of this at all.
Yeah. I still think he was going for the gimmick.
Yeah.
I just don't think he nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. There's two ways to evoke an emotion here,
Yeah.
right? One would be just the sort of like the sadness of him losing one he loved and still mourning her loss, and then the other is I'm going to give you a whole bunch of feels in one direction and then gut punch you, she's dead.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't do the latter, and there's a problem with the former.
Right.
And that's that it's just not that interesting and not that potent without having some kind of connection to the characters being described.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I had been given some scenes to help me get invested in this guy or that girl, then it might have hurt when we lose her or when he loses her.
Yeah.
But because we just sort of ride along in this poem, which it more or less is a poem.
More or less.
We do that at the expense. We're sacrificing the idea of, well, really a traditional story of introducing you to a character, getting you to build empathy with that character, and then as the elements of that story unravel around that person, you care about it.
Right.
And you feel it with them.
And the difference there with you can do that unconventional story thing and you can throw it out, but you have to have maybe some kind of substitute for the same functionality of a traditional story structure. Especially, I think, in this kind of films, what this sort of film was going for. I felt like the writing was... I felt like I was hearing a lot of words and was saying the same thing over and over again. Kind of similar stuff. It did
feel like a letter.
Yeah, it did feel like a letter.
It felt like a letter
like a
that
letter,
was
yeah.
written as therapy.
Yeah.
That felt genuine.
I didn't really like the writing style that much. I think that's more of a taste thing, though.
Well, I think I might have liked it more if it were 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
Instead of 7. It was pretty. It was, for the most part, a good-looking film. I liked a lot of the shots. Would you
Oh, yeah.
disagree?
No, I would not disagree. The shots are quite beautiful. And actually, even specifically this shot, the one where he's crossing the street.
He left that curb so early that it almost
It looked like he was gonna run into the car.
This was a suicide attempt.
That was a little weird.
Yeah.
The reason why I liked this shot, besides that weirdness,
Yeah.
is because
Don't do it, man.
is because he exits the frame and then we don't follow him, and I like that just because you get it and you move on. You know, this person clearly had shots planned out and then shot all of them. You know, or at least had shots in his head that he's like, okay, we're gonna shoot that. We're gonna shoot that.
Yeah.
So a lot of them looked really, really good. I think.
It's funny. I feel like the last film, the 6th, was a good idea with poor execution, and that this was a sort of okay idea with good execution.
Right.
The execution was good, but the idea is just a little weak.
Yeah, as short films go, twists are usually the strongest kinds of short films because like we said before, you can't build a whole lot of empathy, within 3 minutes, and that's why a lot of people make them basically just about twists. And the twist here, or what I'm calling the gimmick, with her being dead, I feel like we said was so broadcasted to
for
where
4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was
That's
really
the other
quite
big
obvious.
And the thing is, we're using very ambiguous writing, and I understand that's what the point is. It's like, I sometimes go to your house and I know you're not going to answer the door. Like, the thoughts that are going through your audience's mind right here is, okay, well then, is something wrong with her? Like if they didn't already pick it up from here, they're asking themselves, okay, what's wrong? Why is he being so weird about it, right?
Right, because it wouldn't be obvious to assume that your breakup was so bad that you could knock on her door and she wouldn't answer.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
That's not something you just jump to, like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd say more like, oh, I want to see, that had to have been bad. Why aren't we seeing that on the screen?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And he doesn't mention their fight almost at all, so that makes you think, okay, well, something bad must have happened, So it is I think a natural way to jump to the conclusion something more must have happened other than her being breakup. And of course, since it's a movie, you automatically jump to her being dead because that's just the way movies are.
Right.
We covered a movie a while back. It was a short where two terrorists capture this victim, and they're going to make like a hostage video, and then the hostage like knows more about their camera than they do, and he starts helping them make the hostage video because he knows about cameras. And the big flaw in that movie, it was like a cool, funny gag, was that they did the gag and then they kept going. Right, and it just kept going, and you're just like, the movie should have ended after that first gag. Mm-hmm. And I think short films that are based on a sort of twist or gimmick, it's the same kind of thing as short films that are based on a joke.
Right.
As all the comedy ones are usually based on one joke. It's a setup and a punchline.
Yep.
Or it's a setup and a twist.
And a twist,
right? In the case of dramatic pieces. I don't know how any film that is just those two parts, setup and punchline, can afford to be more than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Preferably under 2. There has to be more here to merit this much screen time. That's what I'm saying.
And thankfully, in this one, the imagery was so beautiful. It was easy to watch.
Didn't make it too bad.
Yeah. I'm not sure what happened to me. What he did with the way the choice of his shots.
Yeah.
For some reason, he made me feel a lot of empathy and connection with the new girlfriend. She was only in a couple shots, but I saw her and I was like, oh, she's like, it just looked so welcoming, like, and they looked very happy together.
Yeah.
And that's not the right direction. Later I found out I wasn't supposed to go that way.
Right.
Because when we went into these flashbacks then of him with the old girl, I almost felt like, oh, I don't like her because I like the new girl. You know, like a little like jealousy. Like, no, he has that other girl. Because we met her, maybe it's because we met her first. We see the new girl first. We do see her first,
don't we? I didn't even think about that.
So maybe like psychologically, we associate him and her happy together.
That's true.
First, although I don't know, maybe he's trying to look
like a minute
he's
and
like
40.
He's looking off into the distance, like he's not engaged.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's leaning on his shoulder. It looks real.
It does.
Right.
Yeah.
So then when the other girl comes into flashbacks, it's almost like, oh well, he's with that other girl.
Right.
And when he talked about how, oh, I still love you, I more like felt, oh, that sucks for the other girl.
Yeah. No, I definitely. That was actually almost even the biggest emotion that I left with after the movie. I was like, man, that the poor girl is like
dating her and dating him and he's still
like
in love
way
with the dead girl.
Not in like.
You know what would have been
conscious.
interesting if this letter was from that girl's perspective.
Whoa.
You know, if she's writing it just for herself, she's not going to give it to anyone. But if she was just writing it for herself, saying, I feel like you're still in his mind and everything like that, that would be interesting.
That would be awesome.
I have an important question for the entire filmmaking world.
Holy moly.
How long are we going to let people get away with using typewriters because they're cinematically interesting?
I love the typewriter for that.
Of course, yeah, because it's visually interesting. It has this weird nostalgia, and so everyone does it, even though no one does it.
Well, and the part also, the reason why I'm going to let them get away with it is because I feel like if he's, again, this is a broadcasting issue also, if he's doing it on a typewriter, he's doing it for a purpose. And in this sense, he's taking it as a physical letter and going to set it down by her grave. Not many people, I don't think it would be as heartwarming if he was typing on a computer, then printed it out, and then went and folded it up. And
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And I mean, even without that reason, I get why you choose the typewriter.
Right. Well, and this.
My question
also,
is.
This shot right here.
Yeah.
Was, I thought, amazing.
Yeah, it's almost. I'm pretty sure that shot's on video blocks too.
Yeah.
Like almost that same shot. I mean, it's like it's just become this really heavily used idea.
Yeah.
And I find myself thinking like, oh, he should be on a typewriter. Yeah. And then, but I think,
and it physically makes no sense.
Why would he have a typewriter?
Right.
At least it's an electric typewriter.
Maybe he's a hipster.
Yeah. If he had like a Antique.
He seems like a hipster to me.
What if he was using a rolling press? Yeah.
He has a Gutenberg press.
Yeah, just
Wow.
See, but that's my point exactly,
Yeah.
is that if you did have that, then you'd obviously have to explain it.
Right.
You can't just throw in a Gutenberg press and expect the audience to go along.
Yeah.
How long can we throw in typewriters and still have the audience just go along like
Yeah.
it's a normal thing?
yeah. No, yeah, it is a weird choice. I'll give you that. It's definitely a weird choice.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. This just really wasn't my kind of movie, honestly.
More gore?
Yeah, I need more gore.
Needing a lot more
Should have
gore.
shown that car
more
accident.
Should have shown
Yeah,
how
should've
she
shown-
died.
Yes.
Well,
my
they did.
God.
No, how she died in very,
Very
excruciating
detailed,
detail.
Yeah.
I see.
Like I want to see it.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved this shot,
She's so happy.
but I think it's because it was on accident.
This one right here.
Yeah, like I'm not sure if that was directed the way it was, but like I love when, well, I kind of like this one too where it's overexposed, but this one where she's looking straight at the camera, like I loved that because we're talking about her and she's no longer there, and I feel like there's this eerie connection between her and the audience.
Yeah.
I really like that, but I don't know if that's what they were going for. But
Well, maybe
I
he
feel
can
like
let
it
us know.
should've been. Yeah, let us know. Are you in there?
You had a very good audio recording of your narration.
Hey, you don't need a microphone.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Like everyone else.
Yeah,
You did it good.
Not only did you use a mic, but like the proximity sounded right. You had no background hiss or anything.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, the mise en scene here was great. The
Yeah, it was.
the set every shot was dressed well.
Yeah.
You know.
There was never a scene where it looked like you just used your mom's house and didn't change anything.
Right.
Christmas helps with that, though.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Using Christmas as your thing totally helps.
That's true. Yeah.
Because everyone's house kind of looks the same at Christmas time.
Yeah. You guys have anything else to say about it?
Yeah, the movie looks really good. It's just not my kind of
You're gonna say it
thing.
again?
It's not my kind of thing, man.
Stop apologizing.
I'm not apologizing. I'm saying this is
Just,
not my kind
just,
of movie.
Well, I still don't think it. I mean, like we said, it didn't really tell a story. It was
Yeah.
just kind of a setup and a twist.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
Too many words.
yeah,
Too many words.
yeah. That is a thing. That is something that bothers me with a lot of short films like this that sort of go like, I'm gonna have a big narration or a poem, and then we're going to go shoot stuff to go with it.
Yeah.
Is that we're really not taking advantage of what cinema can do.
Yeah.
right.
Right. This
Right.
is the visual storytelling.
Right.
Don't tell me, show me.
Yeah.
Show us.
Yeah.
You know, and you could show us all of that in much less than 7 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Is there a sequel to this?
Do either of you guys have questions for
That was my first question.
Tyler?
Sequel.
Does the character move on from Jennifer and give his sweet new girlfriend the attention she deserves? That's what I want to know.
Don't think that's a serious question.
Is this autobiographical? Is it based on a story that's very close to you personally?
If so, we're so sorry. I mean, like,
Oh, we're not sorry for critiquing the film as a piece of art. That is not. We're not sorry for that.
Taylor, you only have 173 karma. What's up, man?
Dude, I suck. I don't do anything.
What?
No one likes me on Reddit.
What camera did you use? No, I don't really have any questions, honestly.
I don't either, honestly.
Yeah.
So.
Was this a script? Was this written out and like? That sounds obvious, but I mean, like, I want to know if this was like a 6-page long script or something. I mean,
Right. Did you just write the narration, or did you write the shots?
yeah, I do want to know that.
And defend the typewriter.
Defend
Yeah.
it.
I want a good reason why this guy uses typewriter.
Maybe it's like, letters instead of flowers, because I noticed there were several letters there on the grave. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he's like, you know what? I'm gonna dust off that typewriter, set it up, and I'm gonna type her letters.
Well, it could. I mean, you know how they say like handwritten means more
Yeah.
than typed. You know, when people receive it.
Ooh, why wasn't it handwritten?
Well, maybe like typewriters, like
It's
in
the
between.
equivalent.
It is, yeah.
See, I saw the typewriter and I was like, oh, this guy is a hipster. There's no way about it.
That's just your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I
I
don't know.
never bothered
There was no
me.
facial hair.
That's true.
No mustache wax.
That's true.
That is a good point. And he wasn't riding a fixed gear bike.
He didn't have Pabst.
Yeah, he didn't have PBR.
Yeah.
Or a utility kilt.
Yeah.
Utility kilt.
They're huge right now. They're huge.
Yeah, right.
I guess with a typewriter, if you make an error, you have to start over.
Yeah, so that makes
So
it
it does show kind of, it's like...
So why didn't they shoot on film?
Good point. Maybe they did.
Yeah.
Maybe they did.
I guess maybe
it was
they
all
did.
extremely well lit if
Yeah.
it was on film, because I saw no grain.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we've about exhausted that one.
I think so.
Yeah.
Thank
What's
you,
next?
Tyler,
Thank
for
you, Tyler.
submitting Dear Jennifer. We enjoyed watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Make more movies. Send them to us. If you really want to go through
No,
that.
yes.
If you really want to go through that again.
All right. Our next one is, before we get to that, what is this crazy site that I'm using?
What?
Das Reddit?
What is this? Carmen
Line
Line Studios.
Studios.
r/Carmen Line Studios on Reddit.
So people can go here and like submit their films?
Yeah,
is
is that
exactly
that's
right.
actually is a submission thread right there.
Wow.
Right there in the wild. Wow.
That's awesome.
There's all kinds of crazy activities you can do there. Like
is.
discussion threads on each on the forthcoming episode short films that we're going to be covering.
Yeah, so every week
Yeah.
every week prior to our episode we have a discussion thread open.
Correct.
where you
That
can,
way.
Yeah. Talk about the films.
We also post our coverage of big Hollywood releases that we cover each week.
Oh yeah.
do.
Oh yeah.
We also have a little chat window where you can send us messages and death threats.
Yeah, it's more real time, so that way we
Real
can be
time
like-
death threats.
Yeah,
we
real time.
reply within days.
Within weeks at
Days,
least.
yeah,
Days.
within a few weeks.
Yeah.
So, the discussion thread, when me and Dee were getting all weird about that because we didn't finish our thoughts, was
What's your excuse this time? Just having a stroke?
How many strokes has Taylor had on this show?
if you go comment on there, we might feature your feedback in an episode of the Talkies.
We will.
Yeah, might.
Guaranteed.
We will guaranteed.
Will guarantee.
Every piece of feedback, we'll share it.
Every
we
single
will
one.
maybe.
The whole show is just going to be feedback.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Our
What's
next
next?
film is Through
Through
by Jacques Rabi.
the Looking Glass.
Not Through the Looking Glass, just
Oh.
Through. It just says Through.
Thorough.
Thorough is Thorough by Jacques. No.
Go
Okay.
check it out.
Yes. Click in description. Link in description. Click it. Watch it. Come back.
All right, hey, welcome back.
Hello.
That was scary. I was lost in the theater for a minute.
Yeah, it's pretty dark in there.
So we just watched Through.
Through.
Now, but a few minutes ago,
Yes.
we spoke of the idea of using a gimmick, a setup, and a punchline
Yes.
effectively in a short film. Masterpiece.
Masterpiece.
They
Indeed.
did exactly that, and it was almost. It was funny. We had the same response. Was that everything before the punchline, the joke, was so well done that it almost made us like disappointed that it was a joke.
That it was
Yeah,
a joke.
and
yeah.
it wasn't setting up something like deeper,
Yeah.
some like heavier idea.
Yeah, because
The-
look at how surreal that is.
It is totally surreal.
Now, I want to
and
know why you chose 12 frames a second.
beautiful. That is you
This is terrible. What is
It's
happening?
lagging a little bit.
Dude, it's lagging like crazy.
are.
Because I mean, like the bushes are like I love the colors.
It
there.
looks
Yeah.
like the way I color correct my photos on Instagram.
It looks so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like crazy and dreamy and weird.
Yeah.
And he runs up and he's just banging against this door. And I even said out loud a moment before this, I said, why doesn't he just walk around? And this woman comes walking down the lane, and she's all in red.
Yeah.
And everything in this scene has red overtones. And the doorknob on the door is red. And so you think, oh, this is something deep, something symbolic here. She is obviously has the key, the secret to passing through the door. And she just walks around it.
She just walks around it. That's so good.
That's
amazing. And then it just ends.
Yes. Yes.
Which is terrific.
And honestly, having anything else beyond that would have only degraded its quality.
Right.
This was lovely in its succinct, short beauty.
Absolutely.
I also love that they didn't undercut the atmosphere and style that they established up to that point.
Yeah.
Like, they don't cut away to, like, some goofy, like, and then, like, drop the color corrections and stuff when she walks around and be like, oh, it's just a joke.
Right.
But they like, stay in that
some
atmosphere.
absurd close-up on the actor going, who?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that they didn't sell themselves short or, like, undercut it.
Yeah.
Because that's still surreal.
Right. Exactly.
But it's funny.
Yeah,
also.
and it just stays in that.
In fact, it's delivered so it's so mild.
Yeah.
That I could easily see a big portion of an audience not getting it.
Yeah.
Like being like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What just happened?
Yeah.
You need a high IQ, actually.
To be fair.
You need a higher
to understand this kind of stuff.
There was one part actually that took me a little bit out, and it was this
doorknob?
the spray painted doorknob.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
It was a little, just because it looks cheaper than the rest of the scene.
Just because the set looks so
Everything
amazing.
looks so good, and that doorknob needed to be at least high gloss.
Right.
At least high gloss.
At least high gloss.
And also, if you go back a little bit, I think, let's see.
Oh, where he comes from is a little, like...
I think it's like the first shot here. Sorry, I'm misleading you. There. Anyway, you see the doorknob, and it... Yeah, right there. Go back. That shot. It doesn't look as red. It looks far more muted than the close-up.
Color correction.
And it bothered me that the little latching mechanism is sticking out on the edge of the door. I know that's stupid nitpicky, but to me, I'm like, well, if it's this magical door that's like freestanding and leads to another dimension or something,
right,
it wouldn't have that little thing sticking out.
I was actually thinking the same thing. When he came over and he went like this, and I'm like, what, the thing's not moving. So he's actually not turning the doorknob.
I would have just stuck that in, put a piece of tape over it.
Right. And I mean, that's like...
But now we're seriously nitpicking.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
I mean, that's all I can even think of.
What braced the door? Because in the end, the first two times it did look like he was kind of half-assing it.
I thought the sound there was kind of funny. It was...
Yeah, and I didn't quite buy in that he was actually trying to open it.
Yeah.
But the last time he bounds into it, it looked like he hit it pretty good. Let's just see.
Yeah.
It looks like it's...
Oh, wait. Stop. You can see the bracing.
Right there?
Yeah, isn't that?
That looks like...
a couple 2x4s?
This vignetting on the bottom is getting in the way.
Go away windows. There it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's something.
I can't tell.
See, that actually breaks my suspension of disbelief.
This movie sucks, actually.
This movie is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Had me until...
Needed a microphone.
They needed a microphone. That brace really needed a microphone. I loved this movie so much. I thought it was so great.
I love the
I want to
casting.
see what this footage looks like non-corrected. I want to see what it looked like before you went crazy with your DaVinci Resolve.
That's funny. I didn't even think about it, but I guess he just corrected all the greens to be red, right?
Something like that, because the grass is green too.
Yeah, the grass is red.
Dang, that's amazing actually, because that's so simple and it's really otherworldly.
I didn't even think about that.
And
that's really neat.
He looks like he belongs.
Yeah,
that's why
he's not too far off. He looks.
That's what I'm saying. The casting here,
blue over tones.
Yeah,
but
tell me about the casting too.
I like this guy.
This guy.
I like him.
Why?
I don't know who he is, but I like him a lot.
The first thing that I thought...
I think it helps that he looks kind of like everyday man.
Yeah, that's what I like. Because I imagine this guy, he runs his pizza shop and he's he's just having a dream. He's
wearing a white t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah.
And he runs a pizza shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like the guy they chose too. I think that it would have harmed the whole tone if it was someone who was overtly comedic in appearance, or overtly confident.
Yeah.
Like if Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
Which one is right?
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Channing Tater Tot.
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum. I like that one.
I like that better actually. Tatum. If he came strutting down that and was like, "Going to break down this door," it just would not have.
Yeah.
Just would not have been as good.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that. I didn't think about that. That's interesting.
Because you could also go that other way where he's like a college student aged person who's all like artsy and like it's like, "Whoa, what's going on? Whoa, I'm trying to open the door."
Well, you see, it's another example of how every decision you make impacts your story and the perceptions of the audience, even small things. Because in movie language, in movie world. We are always seeking out people who don't look like normal people. Right? Like every story that is supposed to be about what happens to normal people is cast with people who don't look like normal people. Normal people don't have six packs and perfect skin. But that's who we put in our movies. And so when you make the conscious choice to not go get that person, that in itself says something. Right?
Yeah.
So to me, this says... Every day. Everyday bro. Yeah.
And I like that. I like the idea of this guy is having a dream like this. That's like kind of like fantastical. And like really, like he just like watched Lord of the Rings or something.
Could it be that we also have some affinity towards this because we once shot a scene that looked almost exactly
that looks very much like this.
Like this?
Yeah, we did. And this one's far better.
We had a freestanding door in the woods.
Yeah.
And it looked like garbage compared to this. So, well done, sir.
Absolutely.
We like through. Good job.
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah, we totally forgive the showing the brace behind the door.
I mean, it's not that forgivable, but...
In my opinion, that's not the brace.
It might not be.
In your opinion?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's not the brace.
Just something else?
Yeah, something else.
Yeah, it could be.
It's part of the dream.
He's
dreaming it's braced.
It's part of the story.
Because he's a construction worker. So
no, that's part of the brace.
No,
not in my opinion. That's your opinion.
That's your opinion.
It might not be.
In my opinion, this whole thing looks green.
Those could all be leaves.
Oh, yes. Really? I respect your opinion.
Yeah.
Those could be like leaves and branches.
I love this color. This color correction.
Yeah. The color is rad.
It's just so nice.
I'm going to rip you off.
So my question for you would be, what was my question? Oh, how did you come up with the idea for this movie? Because I feel like you found a door and you're like, I got it.
Yeah.
So
what do I
want to know
today? Backyard, an old door, can of spray paint. Yeah.
It was great, yeah. Do you guys have any questions?
I want to know what this was made for, if it was just made for fun, or was it a project, like a student project, or just on your own accord? And I'm also curious how you achieved the color here, because I want to know if we're right in guessing that you literally turned the greens to red, because I see the grass back there that is red, and they would match the leaves also being green. But if that is the case, I'm really impressed because it's very effective.
It is really effective. Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, that's about it for me.
It also feels like what should be blacks are blue.
Yeah.
Like many places where we're seeing blue feel like they should be almost not visible.
I believe he's got like a
high exposure.
Probably a blue rim light there.
Yeah, he had it in the beginning too. Just being his head.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's sunlight or is that just other light? I don't know.
It looks like it's placed.
Anyway, this was phenomenal.
Important question: what's bracing the door?
That's probably the most important.
Is that the brace showing? Did we catch you? Is that the brace showing?
Did we catch you?
Gotcha.
Bad movie, no.
Bad movie.
All right. Thank you so much for sending us through. Loved it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome.
And that concludes this episode of Short Film Roundup.
Short Film Roundup.
Short Film Roundup.
Short Film Roundup.
Thank you, Taylor.
Thank you,
Always
Taylor.
a team player.
God.
As we described earlier, you too can have this same treatment given to your short films. If you're someone who likes abuse, send your short film here at r/Carmeline Studios. Find the latest discussion thread.
Yeah, link in description. Check it out.
You can find out the discussion thread. We're going to be talking about these films: The Where, What, Getting Out, and Grandpa, I Have a Question.
Correct.
Those are for next week. You can watch them now and tell us what you think.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about your comments on the show.
Guaranteed.
Absolutely.
Most likely.
Absolutely.
Probably not.
102%
Probably-
guaranteed.
Probably won't, really.
It probably won't.
Yeah.
Probably won't get any comments.
Honestly, I mean, because we're such a small channel right now, I mean, we're probably going to talk about your comment.
That's true. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's a good.
It's a really good time.
Yeah, if you
want
want to really get in, now is the best
Comment
time.
now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Our fan, Hamza Zubida.
I think we have two.
yeah.
There's
You're-
also Chance
and-
Bunker.
Oh, and Chance Bunker.
Chance, yeah.
He wished us a happy 50th episode.
Thank you.
That's so
Thank you,
kind of
Chance.
him.
Thanks, Chance.
Yeah, this is our 51st episode, though, so.
Yeah, so
51.
that's not really happy anymore.
Yeah, sorry.
Boo.
So, until next time.
Are we done here?
We're done here. Until next time.
What the hell?
Okay.
Hi, I'm Kenny.
Hi, I'm Kenny.
What's happening?
Hi, I'm Kenny.
Hi, I'm Kenny, and we'll see you next time
Bye.
at the Talkies.
Sorry, I didn't realize that was holding up your phone.